You know me, SDMT. We lit on a bad chick, man. This is my first SDMT broadcast, the podcast from the Lion's Den. We about to get to it today. I normally do a lot of my videos. I break them down and I focus on one story and, you know what I mean, I drop a video on that, but I think it'd be kind of dope just to bring that podcast vibe where I can just hit like several hot topics. Make sure you guys stay locked in, you know what I'm saying? Follow me on Instagram at SDMT619. Make sure you stay tapped in. Send me different topics if you want to hear me snap on it. You know, a lot of times I be giving y'all big paragraphs on the Instagram, you know what I'm saying? But a lot of times it comes out better when you can hear it, when you can really lock into what I'm telling you, you know what I'm saying? So come to the YouTube. I'm going crazy. I'm dropping podcasts. I'm dropping a lot of information. Today, we're going to talk about the NFL playoffs. I'm going to drop some, you know what I'm saying, some predictions for tomorrow. This is Saturday right now, so I'm working on this video Saturday. I'm trying to drop it today, so it'll drop before the game. You guys can see if I was right or wrong. You know what I'm saying? We're going to see, because you already know SDMT knows, you know what I'm saying? I already told you. You know what I'm saying? I already told you. You know what I'm saying? You know, I could take the cap off and show y'all the waves, but I didn't get a breath session in today, so I'm not too wavy. But, you know what I'm saying, the beard is extra fire, you already know. But today's topics, I got the notes, you know what I'm saying, so I'm making sure I can give you guys, you know, in depth on certain topics I wanted to get into. So one of the first topics, one of the big topics we're talking about Deshaun Watson, him going out of the Texans. We're talking about Eric Bieniemy, why doesn't he have a job? We're talking about, you know what I'm saying, Mahomes. We're talking about, you know, the quarterbacks in the playoffs. We're talking about Stafford, Lions' new coach, Dan Campbell. And, you know, well, we got to talk about Rivers retiring, Phillip Rivers. We got to talk about Najee and beast mode. We got to talk about Mark Ingram. And we definitely got to talk about Conor McGregor. You know what I'm saying? Conor McGregor versus Dustin Poirier. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to save that for maybe the middle to end. Who knows? Make sure you stay locked in for the full video. You know what I'm saying? If you do watch the whole video, let me know in the comments what your favorite takes were. And I might just share you on my Instagram stories. You know what I'm saying? Show love for the people that watch the whole videos. The ones that's really locked in. SDMT gang. You know what I'm saying? Shout out y'all. So first topic I want to get into right now. It's a lot to get into, but let's talk about Deshaun Watson, man. Let's talk about Deshaun Watson. Let's talk about it. You know what I'm saying? You know, the Texans had already did certain things that rubbed him the wrong way. He told him he wanted to be part of the, you know, hiring process with the GM and the coach, but the Texans, they went and made a decision without him, which I do understand Deshaun Watson's point of view. You know what I mean? He is the franchise quarterback. You're paying this young man over $100 million in his contract, and he wants to help, you know, build a great franchise. You know, we already saw them with Bill O'Brien. They gave this man way too much power, and he destroyed that franchise pretty much. You know what I mean? Getting rid of Deshaun Watson for, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? It's some for nothing. They didn't get much for him. You know what I'm saying? David Johnson, he's on his last legs in a second round pick. You know what I'm saying? They better make the most of that. So we got to look at that whole situation. That already was something that he put in a tweet that he was a 2, you know, out of a 10, how mad he was. Now he's at a 10. He feels definitely disrespected that they didn't, you know what I mean? They didn't talk to him about hiring a new GM, and they didn't, you know, just didn't work with him. So I definitely agree with Deshaun Watson. Andre Johnson came out, former Texan. He said that Watson should get out of there. You know, that organization doesn't look out for the best for the players. So we already seen that. We saw, you know, the owner that died, you know, he made a comment about the players being like inmates. You know, you can kind of see how that team and that ownership views their players. He's not there. His kids are running the thing, but a lot of times the apples don't fall too far from the trees. They don't fall too far from the trees, you know what I'm saying? So we can kind of tell with the organization, oh, you want us, you know, we may draft a black quarterback, but we're not going to put you in our discussions with our franchise. We're not going to do all that, which that could be their mistake, because Deshaun Watson is a star, and if he leaves, he's going to be a star somewhere else. Now, the reports are he wouldn't mind going to the Dolphins or he wouldn't mind going to the Jets. He does prefer the Jets over the Dolphins, which is crazy. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if anybody in this world would prefer the Jets over the Dolphins. The Dolphins have a better defense. They're a little bit more of a solid team. We saw that, this last season. Tua and Fitzpatrick had their struggles, but I have a lot of belief in Tua. I think he's a future star, and I just think that they didn't give him a lot of time to develop, you know what I mean? And then when they put him in there, they're always taking him out when he would go through struggles. You got to let that young quarterback learn to play through those struggles. He also didn't go into camp as a starter, so coming in this next year, Tua should be a lot better. He'll be able to come into camp as a starter, healthy, getting all the reps. And you know what I mean? He should be getting it done. You know what I'm saying? Deshaun Watson, I can tell he has a little bit of love for Tua, you know what I'm saying? Not going to the Dolphins because Miami's a great place, you know what I'm saying? But to go to New York with the Jets, with the franchise that has shown that it's been in shambles, they got Sam Darnold, you know what I mean? And they didn't really develop him the best. And that whole team has just been plundering, you know what I mean? It's been plundering. So for Deshaun Watson to say he would prefer to go there over the Dolphins is huge. Wherever Deshaun Watson goes, it's going to be huge. It's almost like it's a foregone thought that he's going to be leaving Houston. So we're going to see if Houston can make any plays to keep him because losing him would really hurt them. You know what I mean? Maybe they could make a deal with the Jaguars and maybe they can draft Trevor. I saw some Jaguar fans on my Instagram. They're kind of like, oh, we don't want Deshaun Watson. We want Trevor. And I think Trevor is going to be a star. I do think he's going to be a star, but you know what I mean? That's a thought. That's a prediction. That's a hope. You know what I'm saying? Deshaun Watson is the truth right now. He's the proven commodity. I'm picking Deshaun Watson over Trevor Lawrence. I'm sorry if that's that you have your choice, but good luck with that. Even though I do believe Trevor is going to be a beast, you have the proven commodity and you have what's behind door number 2. A lot of people wants to know what's behind door number 2. You know what I mean? It could be a sack of shit. Or it could be $1 million. You know what I'm saying? It's not always the $1 million. You know what I'm saying? Just keep the G real with you. So when we look at this, the 49ers, if they got Deshaun Watson, that would be huge. Maybe the Eagles can be in play. I had somebody in my comments say the Rams. Hey, if the Rams got Deshaun Watson, you know what I'm saying? Book them in the Super Bowl. I'm telling you. The Rams, if they had Deshaun Watson, you know what I'm saying? So we got to really look at that. Deshaun Watson, wherever he goes, is going to be huge for the NFL, how it goes. Does he go to a contender? Does he go to the 49ers? Does he go to a bad team like the Jets? And will they have time to, build and make them a contender immediately? It may take time if he goes to a bad team, which I do respect him not running from going to a team like the Jets, a bad team, in a situation where it may take some seasons or years for them to get good. But when you do have a franchise quarterback, he could definitely make an impact immediately. Deshaun Watson is a star. He can get it done with his arm and his legs when he chooses to. So, the Texans really messed up. Bill O'Brien really hurt that team with a lot of his decisions that he made. He rubbed a lot of players the wrong way. He got rid of a guy like Hopkins. You know what I mean? Just doing a lot of things, and now they're in a situation where they may lose their franchise quarterback because of some of the decisions he made and then also the ownership. So the Texans, man, I know the Texans fans are kind of like, what the fuck is going on? You know what I mean? You're kind of like, what's going on? But good luck to y'all, man. A lot of time owners are kind of shady and grimy, and they hurt your team. Trust me, I'm a Lions fan. You know what I mean? The Ford family, you know what I mean? The Clay Ford have done a lot of bad things, you know what I mean? They sued Barry Sanders for his signing bonus, and they also sued Megatron. That's why Megatron isn't very happy with the organization. So, it's one of those situations in which owners don't always make the right decisions for the team. You know what I mean? You got these people that they have all the money to own the team, but they don't know how to make the right decisions, and they do things that can hurt the franchise. So Texans fans, it's going to be rough. It's going to be rough, man. Deshaun Watson, man, he might want to go to the Jets, though. That's interesting. That's very interesting. Now, the next topic I want to get into is I saw a cool post, and it said, which quarterback has the most to gain from, winning a Super Bowl this year? We got Josh Allen, we got Tom Brady, we got Aaron Rodgers, and we got Patrick Mahomes. You know what I mean? The face of the league. How can I forget Patrick Mahomes? So when we look at those guys, this is the first year in NFL history in the Final Four. There's been 4 quarterbacks all thrown for 4,000 yards. That lets you know the way this game is going. You know, for me, that's like, it's surprising because the way the NFL is so defensive handicapped, you would think this would be happening more often. This is a fantasy league now. They make every rule to benefit the offense. No cap. You know what I mean? It's an offensive-driven game. Most fans don't even care about defense, sadly. But that's just the way football has evolved to where it is right now. So we look at it. Who has the most games from winning a ring this season? Now, my pick is obviously Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers came into this offseason. The Packers refused to draft him a number 1 weapon to go with Devontae Adams and Jones. So they didn't get him a number 1 receiver or, you know, a tight end or whatever. They chose to, you know, draft a quarterback, Jordan Love, the successor to Aaron Rodgers, which did bother Aaron Rodgers. He even came out and said that moment, you know what I mean, really helped him realize that, you know, you may want to stay your whole career on one team, but the reality is he may not end up retiring with the Packers. You know what I mean? He may have to go play for another organization, just like Peyton Manning and Tom Brady and so on and so on. It's nothing new. It happens these days, but a lot of times guys get, you know, they don't want to leave the team that they got brought up in. You know what I mean? The reality of the business is the Packers may be looking to do the best thing for them and excluding Aaron Rodgers. So it would be a big, there was a chip on Aaron Rodgers' shoulder, and you can tell this whole year he's had an insane year. He's been insanely lighting it up, 48 TDs, only a handful of picks, just going crazy, you know what I mean? And showing that he's one of the elite quarterbacks in this game. He still has a lot to give. And you know, people were talking about Jordan Love, Packer fans were justifying it and all this, but this whole year you haven't heard nothing about Jordan Love. Nobody wants to see him on the field because Aaron Rodgers is balling. Now, if he comes out and wins a Super Bowl after that, that's huge. And that also puts him at 2 rings, which you can consider him in the greats and the GOAT quarterback conversation a lot more solidly. He's definitely one of the most talented quarterbacks of all time. But if he gets another championship, that really puts him up in the hierarchy of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. Now, we look at Tom Brady. I think Tom Brady also has a case because could he win a Super Bowl without Bill Belichick? We got to look at that. The Patriots have struggled without Tom Brady. Now, can Tom Brady go to another franchise and win a championship? That would say that he is the GOAT, and a lot of people want to give a lot of credit to Bill Belichick for those Super Bowls and not so much Tom Brady. So they say, is it the system or is it the quarterback? So I think Tom Brady has a lot to gain if he won a Super Bowl. We look at this, Patrick Mahomes, 3 seasons as a starter, he has never finished with anything less than AFC Championship. You know what I mean? So if he was to win another Super Bowl, he would be pretty much have one of the fastest starts to NFL career for a quarterback, and just how productive and prolific he is with winning championships and MVPs, just being great. You know what I'm saying? Patrick Mahomes is the face of the league. You know what I mean? I'm telling you, I've been telling you, Patrick Mahomes. Now we look at Josh Allen. Josh Allen is a rising star. He has moved into the elite conversation with quarterbacks in the game. Now, if he was to win a Super Bowl, that would catapult him, you know what I mean, into the top, you know, one of the top quarterbacks in the game. You got to put him up there, you may just under Mahomes and, you know what I mean, maybe a few other guys, but it would really put him up there. You know what I mean? You know, Tom Brady getting older, he's dropping down. Drew Brees probably about to retire, he's dropping out. And you got Josh Allen, you know, moving into those spots. So it's a lot of these older quarterbacks are being dropped out and younger quarterbacks are moving in. So Josh Allen would have a lot to gain. That would be kind of a wild card situation. I don't believe the Bills are winning no Super Bowl. Sorry, Bills fans, but, you know, I could be wrong. Patrick Mahomes, he wins it, that would be huge. I would tell you, Aaron Rodgers has the most to gain. You know what I mean? Especially coming off the last offseason, they drafted his successor. You guys think about that. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is Eric Bieniemy, man. Why doesn't he got a job, man? Alex Smith came out and said it's disrespectful that Eric Bieniemy doesn't have a job. I agree. Totally. You know what I'm saying? I totally agree. Eric Bieniemy, he's offense coordinator for Kansas City Chiefs. Their offense is amazing. He's came out and spoken so eloquently about the team and what their goals are, how it's not about, player stats, how it's about winning and what he wants to get his players to do to win. That's what they're going to do. And he lets you know that's the kind of coach he is. Me being an old football head, I remember when he was on the Chargers playing running back, you know what I mean? And, he was with USC, he was with a lot of different teams. So with his coaching, he's been in the coaching ranks for a while, and he's definitely somebody that deserves an opportunity. Now, with the NFL head coaching jobs, the only job that's open is with the Texans. Now, the Texans are goofy as hell because guess what they did? They interviewed Josh McCown, who has never been a coach in the NFL, not for any positions in his life, but they interviewed him for their head coaching position, which is a joke of that franchise. It is a joke when there's coaches that's been working their butts off to get opportunities, and you're just throw this guy in there. And this is where we get into when you can do this with non-minorities. You got this white man, he doesn't have any qualifications, but you're gonna throw him in there for your head coaching, candidacy. That's insane. That's insane. You know what I mean? They're not doing that with black players. They're not doing it. But if they're going to do that with McCown, that's what they're going to have to do with black players. Straight up. No cap. You know what I'm saying? No cap. None of that goofy shit's going on. You know what I mean? The Texans, goofy as hell. That would be an interesting pick for them. But I don't know if Eric Bieniemy should take that job or should even want that job. A lot of times, sadly, patience is a good thing. All these teams passing over them. Maybe next season a better opportunity opens up. Or maybe Andy Reid may, get tired, but I don't know if you get tired. You got Patrick Mahomes, the quarterback. You want to keep getting those rings. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, sometimes patience will put you in a better situation. So I think Eric Bieniemy is going to end up in a better situation. He's going to end up a great to solid coach in this league. But I want to never forget about all the teams that passed up on him. You know what I mean? And that didn't give him an opportunity. You know what I mean? Because when he's great, you got to go back and look at all those teams that passed up on when he definitely was deserving and qualified for an opportunity. Okay, Eric Bieniemy deserves to be a coach in the league, which he said he does want to be a head coach in the league, but he doesn't want to take attention away from what he's trying to accomplish with the Chiefs right now, which shows he's very respectful and humble in what he's doing for the Chiefs, but he definitely would like an opportunity to be a head coach in the NFL, which he should. Now, more great news. Patrick Mahomes has cleared concussion protocol, and he will be able to play in this game, which I was kind of scared because I was going to make my picks, and I didn't know. You know what I'm saying? I'm not picking the Chiefs without Mahomes, but Mahomes is playing. I'm picking the Chiefs. We're going to get to predictions later, but Patrick Mahomes is playing. But with an injury like a concussion or a neck injury, or even said he may have a little ankle tweak, the bills are coming, and people are going to say, people don't go after guys who are injured. I'm just saying, people that play football, they know somebody may be coming off injuries. Those defenders are coming. You know what I'm saying? No cap. They coming in full speed. You know what I'm saying? The Bills want to win a Super Bowl. They want to make it, and you know what I'm saying? They're going to be going hard. You know what I'm saying? If they can do some little extra stuff to get him out the game, that's their best chance. You know what I'm saying? So I'm happy. Patrick Mahomes will be playing. Let's hope he's 100%. You know what I mean? And he'll be able to play to his full potential. Perfect. Another crazy thing I've heard is my guy, my quarterback, my guy, Matthew Stafford wants out of Detroit. Which, you know what I mean? That does hurt me. That cuts me deep. I can't believe it. It's cap. I think it's cap. I hope it's cap. Please be cap. Please be cap, not my quarterback, Matthew Stafford. You know what I'm saying? That's my guy right there. Reports are that he may want out of Detroit. And part of me may understand that with the Lions not hiring Eric Bieniemy. Maybe he would have been more hyped and been more excited to have an offensive guy like Eric Bieniemy come in there and, you know what I mean, help him out and help that team just, light that offense up and spark everything up. Because I would be excited if Eric Bieniemy was the offense coordinator. I would be lit. I would go crazy. But the Lions went Daniel Campbell, which I'm going to get into that. He was with the Rams, coaching tight ends and stuff, and he played on the Lions for a little bit. So he's a hard edged guy. He came his press conference, said that, you know, we get knocked down, we're gonna bite your kneecaps, and then it's gonna take 2 shots to knock us down. Then we're gonna bite each other kneecap, and then it's gonna take 4 shots to knock us down. And at the end of the day, we're gonna be the last man standing. You know what I mean? And it wasn't the greatest interview, but he did pretty much portray and illustrate that he wants to make the Lions a hardcore blue collar team. Kind of, I would say, like the Steelers, kind of that vibe. And, you know, the Lions haven't had that, so that would be a good situation. And the kind of guy I am, I'm going to give him a chance. He wasn't my first choice for a head coach. He wasn't my second. He wasn't my third. But, hey, I'm happy Matt Patricia's gone. He was trash. You know what I mean? Reports are Matt Patricia's going back to the Patriots. Wish he should. Get his goofy ass out of here. You know, he tried to make the Detroit Patriots, but that didn't work out. And I'm glad it did. I never liked him. Let's get him out of here. You know what I mean? So then Campbell, you know what I mean? I have high hopes for him. You know what I mean? I give everybody a chance. If he does bad, then I'm definitely gonna call him out. If he does well, I'm gonna I'm gonna support him. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, you know, with the Lions owners the way they are, you know, Eric Bieniemy would be. It'll be huge. It would be huge, but that's not the way they decided to go, which is okay with me. You know what I mean? I wouldn't want them to do any crazy things to mess up Eric Bieniemy's head coaching, you know what I mean, stats. Okay, now, boom, 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 boom. All right, the next thing I want to get into is Najee Harris signs with Beast Mode's marketing agency. You know what I mean? Marshawn Lynch, man. I love this. I love this for many reasons. The first reason I want to get into is Najee's from Northern California, and so is Marshawn Lynch. So they're both from NorCal. I'm pretty sure they probably have a relationship that we don't know, but it's pretty deep, and they know each other, and they have a relationship. So this is great for both players. Also, Beast Mode, Marshawn Lynch, he's very smart and he's very educated, and he does a lot of great things in his community. So, you know, what he's done with his money, he pretty much said that he was just stacking his contracts and living off his endorsements. You know what I'm saying? Being real smart with his money, and then he does so much for his community. I remember posting about he had this cool thing for kids. If they got A's or had a certain GPA, they got free haircuts. You know what I mean? So he does a lot of great things in his community. He's giving out turkeys. He's giving out backpacks. I've seen him do a lot of great things for, you know, that area in Oakland and Northern California. So we know that he really cares. And we got Najee, another young star elite running back coming out of Alabama from California, Northern California, and him linking with, you know, Marshawn Lynch is only going to do great things for him. You know what I mean? He can learn from him from the field. He can learn from him also as a mentor off the field, what to do with his money, and what also to do to help his community. You know what I mean? Because it's bigger for us. You know what I mean? You know, black people, minorities. It's not just about helping yourself, which some people are, but people with big hearts like Marshawn Lynch that try to help their whole community and do more than just stuff their pockets. You know what I mean? I really respect that man a lot for that. You know what I'm saying? So shout out Najee and shout out Be Smart. I love that move right there. Okay, Mark Ingram, man. The Baltimore Ravens released Mark Ingram. We all saw this coming. He wasn't getting no carries. You know what I'm saying? Mark Ingram went from a guy that was, you know, a year ago, he was one of their major backs and using them. You know, he had a great season. And, you know what I mean, big trust, you know what I mean, big trust. He was doing all that, and, you know what I mean, he was definitely a locker room favorite with the Ravens, but they decided to let him go. J.K. Dobbins is a star. I predicted he would be. You can go check my top 5 running backs in that draft. J.K. Dobbins is a star. He really runs similar to like Ray Rice in that offense. He's definitely has all the ability, not the off the field. We're not going to get into that. You know what I mean? But his ability, he's a short, powerful, stocky running back with some make you miss that can get, you know what I'm saying, carry that load. And they also have Gus. Gus is a great change of pace. He has a great, you know what I'm saying, average per carry. So we look at the Ravens, you know, they're paying Mark Ingram a lot of money as a veteran running back. They decided to get rid of him. Now, where does he go? Does he go back to the Saints? Does he go to maybe Another team, the Eagles, the Seahawks always like to stack running backs, especially veterans. Do they go and get him? He definitely has a lot left in the tank, but for whatever reasons, not for whatever reasons, my bad, J.K. Dobbins and Gus taking over was the reason he wasn't getting the ball, and then why he got phased out. So it happens, especially as you get older, and then these ways NFL contracts work. Dobbins and Gus right now are on cheaper, contracts. Mark Ingram's making more money. You get him out of there, they can save money on that and spend that money on another player or what have you. So especially they're going to have to, be paying Lamar soon. You know what I mean? We already know that bag is coming. You know what I'm saying? It better be, you feel me? So we got that. Phillip Rivers retires, man. Shout out Phillip Rivers, man. I've been hard on Phillip Rivers. A lot of people that follow my page on Instagram. But I want to show him his respect. What I'll remember about Phillip Rivers is, he was a great competitor, and he was just a fierce competitor. He would talk his mess. He would, he would just let balls fly. He was a gunslinger. He would make faces. He would talk mess to Jay Cutler from the other side of the field. You know what I mean? He just was that guy. He just had that heart and that fierce competitiveness. I like that about him. You know what I'm saying? When you love sports, you play sports, you can like people that just have that competitive spirit in them. And nobody can deny Phillip Rivers has that. You know what I mean? And even when he left the Chargers, he said, he was that guy that he was going to throw a ball that he was trying to help his team win so bad. Sometimes it was a touchdown, and sometimes it was a pick. And that's the truth with Phillip Rivers. Sometimes it was a pick or a fumble. Great player, Hall of Famer. You know what I mean? Some people got mad at me because he's somebody that I believe should have got a ring because he's had some very talented squads. You look back to the LT times and the Gates and a lot of the talent they had, they definitely should have got a Super Bowl, but it just didn't work out. You know what I mean? At times, they had more weapons than the Colts and the Patriots. You know what I mean? They just couldn't get it done. So he's definitely one of the great quarterbacks to never get a ring. And, do I put some of that blame on him? Definitely, because his turnover ratio is a lot higher than a lot of the other quarterbacks. And there were a lot of key moments where maybe he fumble a snap or he'd throw a pick and it would hurt his team. But he was a very tough guy. I'm not going to take nothing from him. He was a tough quarterback. When LT had that knee injury and he didn't come back, and Phillip Rivers was playing with that torn ACL, man. He played with that torn ACL and he went several years out missing a game. He's a tough quarterback. You know what I mean? All his teammates will tell you. And he is a Hall of Famer. And you know what I mean? He'll go down as, a great quarterback in this league. I wouldn't call him no top 10, but he's a great quarterback in this league. You know what I mean? And, you got to respect him. So shout out, respect to Phillip Rivers. Shout out to all the Charger fans. Don't be mad at me. Don't be mad at me, man. I just got to keep it real. No cap. All right. Before we get to the Conor fight, I know everybody's waiting for my Conor prediction. Let's get to the playoffs. So we're looking at it. We got Chiefs and we got the Bills AFC Championship. You already know how I feel about the Chiefs. You already know how I feel about Patrick Mahomes, the face of the league. I've been telling you. And I can't pick against him. I cannot pick against Patrick Mahomes. Even if he may be a little, banged up, I still got to go with Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs and Andy Reid. And, you know what I mean? Andy Reid made that huge call to get that first down. And he's, you know what I mean, just being Andy Reid, just being a brilliant offensive mind. And I just think that, you know what I mean, the Chiefs, man, this is their third back-to-back AFC championship at home. Just kind of let you know that they are, a team that could be destined to be a dynasty in this league. And some people, frowned at that, when Mahomes got his first Super Bowl, like, oh, they're not a dynasty. They won't be a dynasty. And it's like, man, anytime you got that quarterback, Patrick Mahomes, number 15 on the field, you have an opportunity to be a dynasty. No cap. You know what I mean? I'm starting to burst your bubble. As long as he's lining up probably for the next 10 years, he's going to be the best quarterback in the league. You know what I'm saying? Like it or not. SDMT told you. You feel me? Now, NFC, Buccaneers and the Packers. And I can't believe I'm doing this because I'm a Lions fan, so some of you guys already know where I'm going. You already know where I'm going, but you know what I mean? I got to go with the Packers, man. I believe, the Packers are just... It's their year. They're going to be at home, which is hard to beat the Packers at Lambeau. but they are going against the GOAT. And if anybody's going to do it, it's the GOAT. But I gotta go with Aaron Rodgers and the Packers. I just really believe that Aaron Rodgers has a chip on his shoulder. He has a lot to prove. Devontae Adams has been playing crazy. Their defense has been playing better. The running game has been solid. Jones has been breaking. I just think it's the Packers' year. You know what I mean? I just think it's their year. I think they're clicking on all cylinders. Aaron Rodgers is playing out of this world. I think the Buccaneers have talent. I just don't think they're going to be able to keep up with Aaron Rodgers and the Packers, and then they may end up winning. Let's say 27-20. 27-20. I got the Packers. You know what I'm saying? So I did that. I didn't give you guys a score for the Chiefs and the Bills. Chiefs and the Bills. Let's go. Shoot. 28. Take that back. 28-21. Chiefs for that one. I give you that. You know what I'm saying? Let's say the Chiefs are gonna score up. Let's say the Chiefs get some points on the board. Let's go 31-24 Chiefs. All right, I gave you all that. All right, here we go. Conor McGregor and Dustin Poirier. You know what I'm saying? The fight of the day, UFC. Conor McGregor makes his return against Dustin Poirier, a guy that he's beat before, but that is a whole new fighter now. And I want to get into that because Dustin Poirier was always one of my favorites. Has been one of my favorites. I've watched UFC for a long time. He's somebody that I thought would be champion a lot sooner than he did, but that's kind of the journey of a lot of fighters. Like, sometimes he would show a lot of his ability, and sometimes he'd come out there and not have a great performance. You know what I'm saying? So, he's somebody that he always had a solid ground game. You know what I mean? His striking got better, and he has really good submission. So when we look at this fight, I look at it, can Poirier, mix up the fight enough to get it to the ground sometimes. Maybe take Conor to the ground, get some juice out of him, you know what I mean? Either go for a submission or just ground and pound him some, you know what I mean? With the stand-up, Conor obviously has the edge. There's no doubt there. I'm not going to go back and forth with anybody on the edge of that. But that said, that doesn't mean that Dustin Poirier can't outwork him with his pressure and just applying that pressure and putting that pace on him. And with that pace, will Conor McGregor burn out? You know what I mean? We've seen Conor McGregor, his cardio. He comes out and wants to deny it, but it has definitely been something we've seen. Not only just the Nate fight, what they tried to say, but also we saw Mayweather as well, that his gas tank can be an issue. He needs to pick and choose when to throw his power shots. That's the thing with a lot of power punchers. If you throw so many power punches, you got to juice back up. It's kind of like those video games and stuff. You know what I'm saying? You throw those power punches, you know what I'm saying? You start getting tired. You know what I'm saying? So that's the thing about Conor. You know what I mean? When he couldn't knock out, it's hard to knock out Nate and Nick Diaz. It just almost never happens. You know what I mean? They got solid skulls. So when you can't knock those guys out and Conor's, swinging for the fences, he's going to get tired. So, Dustin Poirier doesn't have a chin like Nate Diaz or Nick Diaz, which is legendary. You know what I mean? Nothing against him, but they're just legendary. You know what I mean? And, even Khabib and a lot of fighters came out and said if it ends early, it's probably going to go to Conor. But if it goes to decision, they think Dustin has a chance. I think Dustin has a chance. You know what I mean? It's hard for me to pick against Conor unless it's Khabib. You know what I mean? But when we really look at this, I'm going to be rooting for Dustin. I definitely think this is a huge opportunity for Dustin to show, on the highest platform what he can do. You know what I mean? This is a money fight for him. This is a fight that's going to potentially make him a household name. He's going against, one of the biggest stars ever in sports, you know what I'm saying, in Conor McGregor. And what Conor has to do, look at this from both situations. Look at this from both situations. Is, Conor has to pick and choose his shots and go out there and not, just, blow his load, per se. You know what I mean? He needs to pick his shots because Dustin definitely has, a good pace. And if he doesn't go down, will Conor be able to, keep up with that pace? You know what I mean? And especially if Dustin can mix it up and get the fight to the ground or, get him on the cage and force Conor to wrestle. When you're a striker, it doesn't make you as tired to strike. It makes you more tired to wrestle. wrestlers, they can wrestle and save the energy, but they get a little more tired when they strike. You know what I'm saying? So the way it goes, if Dustin can just mix in a little bit of grappling with his striking, it can cause so much of a problem for Conor. But if it's a straight stand-up fight, Dustin does have a chance. He definitely has solid striking, and his pace can help him, especially if Conor starts wandering and, sucking air. I think that's the, Achilles heel for him. It's just him being able to, keep his conditioning, which a lot of his fans, he has great conditioning, man. He's the greatest ever, man. He has great submissions, a ground game. We just don't know. You're just a D-Rider, man. You know what I'm saying? You're just a D-Rider fan. You're not being objective. You're not really looking at the situation, so this is not for you. But I'm picking Dustin, man. I'm rooting for Dustin. I definitely understand Conor definitely could sleep him. You know what I'm saying? And I'm hoping Dustin makes it more exciting than, not exciting, more competitive, because it was exciting last time, especially for Conor fans when he gets Cowboy. That was just, it's kind of sad to see Cowboy go out like that, and he definitely lost a few more times after that, but you know what I mean? It all comes to an end sooner or later, you know what I mean? Cowboy is a legend. You know what I mean? I'm going for football, so MMA, so you know what I'm saying? You mess up sometimes, but I'm picking Dustin Poirier. Let's go 4th round submission. I'll go armbar. Dustin Poirier, armbar, 4th round against Conor McGregor. I'm telling you right now, that's my pick. If Conor sleeps him, you can roast me in the comments. It's all good. You know what I mean? If anybody knows MMA is one of the hardest things to predict. You know what I mean? Vegas loves MMA because they're just taking your money. You know what I mean? They're taking it from you, man. But that's all my topics for today, on today's podcast, man. Shout out to the SDMT gang. Shout out to everybody that stays locked in. I'm going to be trying to drop podcasts every day or every other day. Send me some of the hottest topics you got. Go to my Instagram, SDMT619, comment, hey, I want to hear you talk about this. I want to hear you talk about that. What do you think about this? What do you think about that? I want to see this in your next podcast. So, I'm going to be, adding a green screen. We're going to put some stuff in the background. We're going to get this whole thing lit, on a bag chick. You already know, SDMT. I dropped my waving video before this video. Go check that out. Go check out my training videos for my young athletes. I'm about to drop some beard tips, beard growth, beard grooming. So I'm about to really light this channel up. So stay locked in. Come to the channel every day. I'm coming with the podcast. I might do some smaller subjects as well. I may XYZ topic, you know what I mean? And not always put that into the podcast, depending on my timing. I got work, got a lot of things going on. You feel me? I'll be on my grind. You already know. SDMT! But shout out to everybody that stays locked in, man. I really enjoyed this podcast, and it is a cool way to get everything in, you know what I mean? And not worry about trying to focus on one topic, then stopping the video and doing another one, editing, you know what I mean? I can just get it all in one take, just like that. I'm out. SDMT!